Hello, friends, and anybody else watching. I have an enormous takeaway about being myself, and maybe you can find some parallels and relate to it just a little bit. So I'm in New Orleans right now, and this is my last day here. I'm going back home later today. And I was attending the 2017 Team Beachbody Coach Summit. And my biggest takeaway that I got from it was the value of being yourself. And it's not just people that are entrepreneurs, but just in life in general, people are very reserved about who they are. And a lot of times people put on a facade, a front, whether it's a conscious thing or a subconscious thing. And what I've noticed is that all these really successful entrepreneurs running around, I've seen some that are all tattooed up. I've seen the eccentric, I've seen the conservative, I've seen the ones with like 50 holes in their head, piercings, and all sorts of different personality temperaments, every last one of them, from the eccentric to the social butterflies to the shy, introverted, and awkward, and everything in between, the full spectrum in every way possible. And so what I'm noticing is that the ones that seem to be pretty consistently successful are the ones that are being themselves, unreserved, their true selves, but they are also immersed in personal growth and development every day to, build upon what is already their God-given talents, or whatever you want to call it. So that's a pretty badass thing. And then I'm going to go into talking about jobs. If you follow me at all, you know how I feel about that. But people that have a job can't be themselves. People in their personal lives are typically not themselves, out of fears and insecurities that we all have. But it's like at a job, you have to be somebody that you're not, or you can be fired or disciplined. And some of you have a really cool boss that lets you be yourself, and they're rational, and they're like, hey, as long as the job gets done and it's a good job, you can do whatever you want. It's all good. Those are really cool bosses. Grateful to have one of those if you have one. But even still, it's like at the permission and leisure of somebody else who is not you, you get to maybe have some more freedom in that area, which means that you still don't have the freedom to be yourself because it's at the leisure and permission of somebody else. That's authoritarian. That's, for me personally, no bueno. So a lot of times somebody will not be an entrepreneur because they believe that they have to be someone they are not, that they have to put on a sales hat or be weird or say shit that makes your skin crawl, and cringeworthy stuff, right? That's one of the big reasons that a lot of people will not become an entrepreneur. So what I've found is, just in life in general, personal life or professional life, you can be much happier and more successful if you are yourself, but you're also immersed in daily personal growth and development and learning from people smarter than you in certain areas, and then you turning around and teaching people and sharing what you learn with everybody else, which is why I learn and teach something new every day. Like, if you go back in my timeline, almost every day of the week, almost every day, and some days multiple times a day, I'm showing you stuff, teaching you stuff, something of value that's related to health, healing, happiness, recovery, fitness, mental stuff. I'm a wordsmith, as you can tell. But I love learning and teaching. It's part of my personal growth and how I absorb stuff like that. So, yeah, that's a pretty big deal. So for all of you out there that are thinking, gee, I'd like to unshackle myself from the dollar, make my job an optional thing that I may get rid of or keep, but just as long as it's optional and I'm not depending on that to pay my bills and my living expenses and put food on the table and feed my kids, if you have any kids. It's like, if you're of that mindset, there's got to be a better way than selling my time every damn day for a flipping paycheck that can be taken away from me at any moment. And you're like, you won't do it because you think you have to be some weird cringe-worthy salesperson. I've found this whole weekend that I've been here at this Coach Summit that is entirely not true. In fact, I've found, and I've observed this for a long time, the people that do act really weird and cringe-worthy, they're either really great liars and they get away with ripping people off. Unfortunately, some of those people out there, and they're financially hugely successful, they exist, sadly. Then there's also another group of people, a much bigger group of people, to be honest with you. Like, the majority are people that are actually being themselves, their true selves. And those are the biggest success stories by far. as entrepreneurs, people that are able to escape from the neediness of a paycheck from a job where a job becomes optional. Most of them take the option to leave their job. I took that option. I don't want a job, so I got out. And maybe once in a while somebody keeps it, but the point is it becomes optional, and I did it by being ourselves. And that's really important, because all of you out there, all of you, it's true, or you're lying, but all of you want to be unshackled from the dollar, every single one of you. And if somebody says otherwise, they're lying. I won't believe them for a second. So don't think for a moment that you have to sell your soul or do cringeworthy, sleazy stuff to make that happen, because it's not true. I was surrounded by that all weekend. This 4-day long extended weekend, I've been around all of that. So it's empirically, factually true. And that's what I love, because it's not subject to opinion or belief. It just isn't. So I hope that makes a lot of sense to you guys. And my offering to you, like in most of my videos at the end, if you're sincerely interested in health and wellness and being financially free so you can do what you want with your time and not be controlled and manipulated by a fucking paycheck or shackled to the dollar, but you love health and fitness and you want to learn how to make money doing that, passive and residual money, not ordinary earned money like at your job, but passive money, the kind of income, the only kind that unshackles you from the dollar. Do you want to tie that into perpetuating health and wellness, and maybe even be a whistleblower against other companies and horrible cretinous people that actually make money by manipulation and managing poverty and sickness? Get away from that nonsense? Then private message me and I'll show you what I got. And if you like it, we'll lock arms and we'll do it. I did it, fired my boss. If you want to have your job be an optional thing and you want to do it where you get to be yourself and not engage in cringeworthy activity, but embracing being yourself and with an eagerness, personal growth and development, learning, and you look at learning not as a chore but something that you're excited to learn, then get a hold of me and just private message me and I'll show you what I got, okay? So with that, I'm going to start heading back home here soon, and I'll see you guys later. Feel free to share this video, tap share, because I think you know a lot of people, like 100% of your friends would love to be able to find a way to unshackle themselves from the dollar while being themselves. Everybody wants to be able to do that without losing their soul in the process, but enhancing their soul. That's important. So share this. And of course, I've got my website, tomberkenmeyer.com. Take out the space, all lowercase, tomberkenmeyer.com. And from the Degai house, the artist from a couple hundred years ago, it's a beautiful courtyard. Every courtyard in New Orleans is beautiful, and it has a fountain. It's like a staple piece in every courtyard. And it's palm trees everywhere, and all these tropical, beautiful plants. It's just another world. And they also have real gas lanterns, like those are real flames in those. Little extra freebie stuff in this video for you. See? Real flames. They're everywhere. They use real gas lanterns. I just love it. It's the details, man. New Orleans is pretty cool, especially the French Quarter area. So if you guys ever want to see something that's locked up in a time capsule, like an authentic one, these aren't recreated buildings like other old towns in other areas. French Quarter is the real deal, man. These buildings are the original ones that were built. And this town, the French Quarter, is older than this country. So imagine that. It's pretty neat. Anyway, that was a little tangent. Enjoy yourselves, everybody. I'll see you soon, okay? Mwah.